That's right, it won't load the PDFs.
That's cool. We started our broadcast, I think, with the word bastard, so that was pretty awesome. So, in case you were wondering, this is the channel Drop Dice, and we're totally cool with adult words like bastard. So, today we decided to do a one-off in the world of Stratmur, which is what I developed on the channel. I've had it kind of floating around for a while, and I just had a hankering for some 5e, and I was like, let's dust this project off and see where it goes and what we can do with it. So we're going to do a level 0 campaign, or not campaign, an off game today. And basically, these characters are going to be going to the free lands in Stratmur, which is basically kind of a Wild West type area, each for their own purposes. Maybe it's seeking fortune or just to get away from their own cultures. Let's go down the line. You guys pretty much know everybody here because this is our normal Sunday crew. But we'll let Tom kick it off and talk about his awesome job designing clouds. Guns Vicarous online. I win.
Okay. Alright. So, yes, everyone buy Guns Vicarous online. Best game ever made. So on and so forth. Alright. So, character I just made today is going to be a human noble by the name of Ellen Devenor. He's a generally well-meaning sort of man. A bit hoity-toity, I guess is how I would describe him. He doesn't like getting his own hands dirty, although he does care for his people and needs to set an example for them. His goal in life is to make sure that he is the proud exemplar of his people and guide them forward to a shining future. But, you know, without getting his hands dirty.
Okay, perfect. Did you get a chance to look at some of the setting stuff at all, Tom?
I shot through a bit of it.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what part of the world that your noble hails from?
Not as such, no.
Okay.
Somewhere in the human-controlled lands.
There are 2 mainly human-controlled lands. Well, 3, actually. There's Xiaoyun, which is the Orient-type setting. It's mainly more of like a Chinese influence. There's Acretia, which is on the western side, middle, and then there's Aesir. Aesir is like German land barons type of setting, and then Acretia is the heart of civilization, according to basically the world. Education and higher magics are studied there, and also science has been pushed there. They have a basic understanding of what alchemy is and how it can be used to help people.
I think Aesir is where he would be from.
Okay. Perfect. And next, let's move down the line to Murdoch.
Hi, I'm the guy that hates you all. Tune in next week for Dragon Ball. So, I am playing a Soga. My Soga is a monk of, not like a monk class, but a monk as in he was raised in the kind of a Buddhist setting. He is from the cradle of civilization, as it's called. Which one is it? Acretia. He left Shewun when he was very young for his path to help people, and he thought that the people of Acretia needed his help the most. He feels they've kind of lost touch with their inner peace in their quest to master everything.
Perfect.
Huh?
Perfect. So the Soga are kind of a tall alien-like race inside the world of Stratmur, if you haven't seen it before. Basically, we took dwarves and elves completely out and replaced them with some other races. The Soga happened to be one of them. And the Soga conventionally fill a void that has been left out by not having an elf-like race. They're more about culture, beauty, and theology. They have very Buddhist feel to their entire design as a culture. And so that's what he's playing. For anything about the setting, I did include a link in the description to a City of Brass page that I went and put the world information in there. And if you guys want to use it, it's fully available, no cost to you guys. Any of the stuff that I've created and thrown inside there. Next, we'll go to Jeremy, if you would.
Yeah, Jeremy here. I am playing. Well, I call him Rusty, but he's a Warforged, a bit of a criminal because he's kind of lost his path. He does not live with the rest of his kind. He lives in Acretia. His goal in life, as most Warforged are in this setting, is to find their place in the world because they lost that long time ago. He does so by kind of being kind of like a Robin Hood-like thing. He steals, well, pretty much from everybody, but gives back to his people. So, in his eyes, from the rich to the poor. Honestly, not a good burglar at all. Not a good one. We'll just leave it at that. And yeah, hopefully he'll get better at that.
I'd like you guys to put your names and backgrounds in the chat if you would for me as well. And while you're doing that, Brendan, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce your character as well.
His name's Vig. He's loud, boisterous, talks way too much. He's human. Always wearing nice clothes, fancy hats, keeps his hair long. He's a pretty boy, and far too often puts his money where his mouth is.
A bit of a poof, you'd say, huh? All right, so it seems that most of you are from Acretia, so I'm going to say that that is going to be where the ship that you boarded, Freedom, is setting sail. The Freedom is a galleon that has been converted for taking passengers instead of cargo over to the free lands. The free lands, of course, promises you guys land and opportunity because right now, according to Acretia's government, and Aesir's for that matter, that the frontier is open to any who go out there and lay claim to the land. And so for a lot of you, especially those that were living in Aesir, hold on a second.
Brendan, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your race. What race are you?
Human.
Okay.
Hey man, it's two humans and us.
Perfect.
Why are there humans with us?
I don't know. Weird.
It is a very eclectic world because the world floods every year. Sea travel is actually quite advanced, while the rest of the world is in more or less medieval kind of Dark Ages level technology. The world has escalated itself as far as sailing technology is concerned to the age of sail. There is gunpowder and things like that, but because merchant trade is so important to the world, lands like Acretia are very open to having all sorts of races in them. So you have boarded the Freedom and taken the last bits of your gold that you've been squirreling away for months to be able to pay for passage to the free lands, with the hopes of getting whatever it is that you're looking for. The travel, unfortunately, takes you across the Restless Sea, which is quite aptly named. The whole ride there has been storm after storm, and there is a region that is commonly referred to as the Maelstrom. It's a terrible way to go, and your ship, unfortunately, has been thrown off course, finding itself going into this area of the sea that is known for funnels and sea tornadoes and hurricanes and things like that. Unfortunately, after a night of tossing and turning through the rain, you guys have woken up on a beach There are broken ship parts around you and debris. You don't see anybody besides yourselves and about 3 other crew people. It looks like a woman was probably a noble, judging by what the tattered remains of her heavy gown was. There is a man that looks like he may have been part of the crew because he is far too muscled and conditioned to be just a normal commoner. And then there is another slightly older man that you're not really sure what he is because, again, his clothes are kind of a mess as well. The island, looking around, it's got kind of a tropical feel to it. There are different palm trees and exotic fruits. For Rusty, being from the land that your people normally hail from, Barishtar, you're used to exotic fruits and things like that. You immediately recognize some of these things as being edible, like there are bananas here, which means that you're definitely in south of the equator.
Yeah.
Remembering where you were supposed to go, your ship shouldn't have traveled anywhere near this far south, so the storms must have been extremely bad. The human ships are made of wood, whereas Warforged ships are made of metal. They're harder to move off course, and that's kind of a pride point for your people.
We do like our ships. Humans just haven't gotten to our level of technology yet.
So you guys may begin. You would have met each other during the cruise and had little interaction between each other.
Chris, I will... If nobody starts doing it, I will actually start gathering food for people. They need to eat, and they probably don't know what to do. I'm mostly just gonna start gathering what I can see, and just handing them out to people, like literally just grabbing and like, here, food, edible.
Perfect.
My character, who, by the way, basically looks like a tan blonde surfer guy in tan noble clothing.
Like a 90s surfer. Got like the wavy blonde hair.
Yeah. He's like ranting to himself. It's like, oh, figures. Cast out by my family, and first thing that happens, I get washed up on the beach, and now all my clothes are dirty. Ugh. If you do hand him like a fruit though, who like accept it graciously, thank you very much, and then go back to rambling.
Orange will come over to Elland and be like, "Listen, everything happens for a reason, my friend." Orange,
Yes.
by the way, is probably the only orange Soga you've ever seen in your life.
You're literally the color orange.
Yes.
All right. I just had to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be funny if you weren't actually orange, but you wished you were.
Yeah, most
Okay.
Soga range from kind of gray to blue. This man is definitely a unique one among his own people, even.
Oh yes, and that purpose is to make me suffer. Honestly, not enough discipline. That's a reason to send me away? Pfft, please.
Friend, please. Friend Elland. Again, everything happens for a reason. You were sent away. You were obviously a noble of some great importance. You were sent to Aprecia to go to the Freelands to claim more land, I'm sure of it. Your family will graciously accept you back as soon as they've seen the hardship that you've endured. Maybe this alone is the lesson that your parents and family wanted you to learn.
Madness. Well, I appreciate the astounding color of your appearance. It really looks good on you. There is no such thing. Everything happens for no reason. You are here in this new land, and who knows why. You are going to find out. He'll crouch down to you, put his hand on your shoulder. This is an adventure for you, okay? Cheer up, and he'll slap you in the cheek a little bit.
There's no such thing as adventure, Pig.
That's what those who haven't been on one say.
It's just destiny.
Vig's going to reach into his sack and into his backpack and pull out a tunic for you, since you're complaining about your appearance.
Yeah,
Here,
if you guys
try
kind
this
of-
on.
Once you guys start kind of searching the debris around, you find some different lock boxes, and you may not be able to find necessarily your clothes, but you're able to find some things that will work for you. A little bit of digging around, you're able to find the gear that I told you to start with as well.
Okay.
Each of you, if you do not have a weapon, may take a quarterstaff from the flotsam.
All right.
It is very poor quality, and you know it.
So he'll take out a piece of cloth from his bag. It's utterly ruined. It looked like it was once a very fancy piece of cloth, and it strangely matches the bright orange hue on our friend here. It's like, oh, well, I'll wash that a few hundred times. You'll never know where you'll find another shirt, so we best keep moving.
I have another shirt right here. It might be a little big for you, but you're welcome to it. It's soaking wet and dirty, just like his. Just for the record.
Yep.
As you guys are kind of talking amongst yourselves, the ship hand kind of starts waking up, and he groans a bit and looks around. Oh my God, we're alive?
Unfortunately, yes. And nary a bar to be seen.
There's plenty of bars.
I hear you.
He starts kind of pushing himself up, and he says, looks around. He says, I don't see anything I recognize.
We're in the south. Here, eat this. You've been out for a while.
He gladly takes it, and he'll peel back the banana and start eating. And he kind of between bites, he kind of chews a little, and he says, "The freelands are huge, almost as large as Acretia. Obviously, from the plant life, we're closer to the southern tip, but there's many parts that haven't been fully mapped out yet. This could just be some random island where there's usually one island, there's often a chain, or at least some neighboring ones. I think we should probably get the other two up and see if we can find any other life on this island or even on a neighboring one."
Hold on, Jeremy. For the record, when Ellen said there were no bars, Orange said there are plenty of bars and started singing.
Oh, I don't know that one. Could you teach it to me?
Why, certainly. And then I will continue to sing.
Vig will join in.
The ship hand is going around trying to wake up the others, and he manages to get them on their feet. They introduce themselves. The female is Lady Catherine Lovefin. She's actually a baroness, if you will, a merchant baroness, I should say. She's a resident of Acretia that was looking to cross and establish some business connections in the Freelands, since she trades in fishing and cannery. The ship hand is named Timon Howard. Obviously, he's a ship hand. And then the last one is Garrett Forthknife. Garrett, he tells you he's a farmer, but you don't believe him.
Can I choose to believe him?
You absolutely can. He's just a bad liar, so if you have an undying urge to believe that people are good, sure, you can believe him.
Okay. I do have an undying urge to believe that people are good.
Timon kind of looks around, and he starts kind of shuffling through the debris. He shakes his head. Nothing useful seems to have washed up.
Everything is useful. Just depends on your point of view.
Well, right now we have the point of view of a bunch of people stranded on a beach. So, yes, nothing useful.
I mean, the flotsam could be useful. We could dry it out and it could become firewood to cook the food that we find.
He's very optimistic, isn't he?
That is his
His prime directive.
his personality trait is nothing can shape my optimistic attitude. Also, he's good with his ideals of charity and his bond of everything I do is for the common people.
Perfect. So, Timon kind of turns away and he says, doesn't look like it's a very big island. Maybe we should start kind of looking around and get better bearings. We don't even know what is on this island.
If it's a chain of islands, we may be able to swim to the next.
That's the hope.
Does everybody here know how to swim?
I don't swim.
Do you breathe?
I walk to islands.
Excellent. You know what we could do is tie this flotsam together, create a small raft, and our friend, I'm sorry, Rusty?
Yes.
Rusty could pull us.
Depending on how deep the water goes, that might not be viable. You might not have enough rope.
I don't see that as a viable plan as much, but good thinking.
Thank you. He smiles to himself.
Timon starts taking a few steps forward, and he'll wait till he's about 10 steps up. If you guys don't follow him, he'll just kind of glance back, shake his head, and he'll start walking on his own.
I'm gonna follow him and say, our first thing we should be looking for is fresh water. I know that you.
All fresh water. Jeremy.
Is it fresh water in this one?
There's no salt water on this moon.
Okay,
Correct.
that's my fault. Cause I'm like, I was remembering if you kept that or not. Okay, then I won't say that.
The water compared to our fresh water is slightly acidic, but it's actually not harmful to you guys because that's your natural environment. With the exception of the Warforged, who can walk literally from ocean to ocean, except the water's a little acidic, so it will cause him damage after a while.
Yeah. So, like I said, I walk to islands. I'm not gonna walk that far.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I have to ask: is there anyone in our group aside from the farmer that I would consider common folk?
Warforged.
You're not sure, but Vig, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Alright.
he tries to act big and fancy, but like the way he uses his speech patterns, he doesn't seem like he's a noble.
I'm hoping you're gonna order him around.
No, like I have a similar.
While you're thinking of it, you'll notice he is no longer standing with you. He is consoling the noble lady off in the other direction.
It's like, well, no, like I have a similar.
Lady Catherine will actually be going with.
Yeah, like
What was
I'm gonna
that?
Lady Catherine will actually be going with to walk the perimeter of the island to see what exactly is going on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The three
I will-
NPCs shall travel together.
Yeah, I'll go with them too. Like the thing is, like I have a similar bond to Murdoch, except that like I must be seen as a hero by the common people, so I want to like try to lead them.
So you kind of end up walking in front of Timon and taking over as leader.
Kind of, yes.
Okay, since I see where this is going, I'll go, oh, we're leaving. Excellent. I shall continue to hum a few bars for my friend Elend, and I will continue to sing. I will sing a tune about people that walk.
Oh God. So
Left foot, right foot, left
Chris,
foot.
Right, but
because he's probably because I see him as doing the most positivity for the group right now. I'm gonna start banging on my arm as a drum.
yes!
Try and keep morale up. Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
So you guys start to kind of walk the perimeter of this island, and you can hear noises coming from the jungle. There's definitely at least creatures, if not people, on this island. Timon doesn't seem to want to go in the jungle, at least yet. He wants to kind of get an idea of what the island is, if there's any neighboring ones. And after about an hour of walking the beach, you've walked almost around this small island to the halfway point. And now that you're around here, you can see that there's another island that it's a little bit taller than this one and crops up out of the water a little bit easier. Had it been the flood season, these islands probably would have been completely submerged. Looking at that one, it's actually quite lush, and there's a black billowing smoke tower that's kind of coming up from the center of the island.
Do we know what volcanoes are?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably shouldn't go to that island just yet.
Can I try to figure out where we are based upon this volcano?
So typically volcanoes will mound up, and there'll be a spot where the smoke would come up. This island just happens to be a little bit taller out of the water than the island that you're on. It's not like a mountain kind of shape. The fire is actually coming from the center of the jungle that populates this island.
On our island?
No,
the
the
other
island
island,
next to you. We'll call it Island B.
Okay. So that does
Damn,
not
I missed a Jurassic Park reference. I could have called it Site B.
You could have also gone with, island fighting mongooses. But so does it seem like that's not actually a volcano? And
No, it looks more like a fire. It's just black smoke coming from probably a large fire, like a bonfire or something.
Okay.
We've discovered friends yet be made.
But they are across the way.
But you could walk over and make introductions. Should I prepare some?
Timon looks over and
some ink.
Timon looks over to you and he says, "Maybe other survivors. Maybe they've got a better place to be. There's definitely things on this island, but monkeys don't make fire, so."
Sorry. Like, how far away is this other island?
If you had to guess, it's well within swimming distance, but it's a decent swim. You would think that it would probably be easiest if you guys had like a log or something like that you could at least hold on to while you swam over there.
Yep.
Flotsam. But
I would recommend we make a full circuit of the island we're on before we go to the next one. See if there's anything useful.
Okay. Do the rest of you agree with that?
An excellent choice, Ellen.
Ellen, you have another great idea. Thank you.
Do you like the other one of these?
Timon kind of lingers, looking towards the fire, and he nods and he goes, "Yeah, that's probably best." And he looks over to Lady Catherine without really saying too much because she's the highest noble that's here. She doesn't really say anything. She's watching Ellen kind of be in command and directing them, seeming very confident in kind of a dire situation. After a few seconds, she'll just kind of give a solemn nod, and you guys will continue around the island. Going along the beach, it's very safe. There's like the water here is actually quite clear. The storms have let up, and it's a clean, clear day. You can see that there's plenty of fish here. That if you do have to stay here for a time, you probably sustain yourselves. There's a good deal of like lush jungle trees and bananas and things like that on the island as well. But you do keep hearing those noises of some sort of animal life, most likely coming from the jungle.
I just hope it's not a polar bear.
Me too.
Smoke monsters will not be far behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, we're not that lost.
Only to find out we're all actually dead.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's
What a
purgatory.
twist!
I don't know. It's complicated.
Why are there dinosaurs on the island?
Because ambiguity.
We're gonna find out that's plane wreckage on the other island.
All right.
Alright. So we circle it.
I got your notes, Brendan.
Do we
I tried to send it to you earlier, it didn't work.
Well, I got it on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool.
Do we not run into anything as we circle back to the wreck?
No, you do find a box that has washed up on the shore that catches your interest because it looks like it's pretty intact, actually.
Mm-hmm. I will grab the box just in case, and I'll check it.
Okay, so luckily because you happen to be Warforged, you can kind of wrap your fingers around a little bit of the opening inside the nails on this crate, and you can just wrench it open with a little bit of a kind of a wiggle at it, and inside you find that there's actually a short sword, 3 knives, and 15 silver inside here.
Um,
Or daggers, rather. But
how much is everybody looking at me?
Like Ellen's takes note of you, but he doesn't seem to care too much.
I mean, decent. Like they're not really paying strict attention unless somebody tells me that their character is doing so. The NPCs definitely they know that you ripped open the box, but they haven't really shown a lot of attention. As you kind of look around, you can see that Garrett fourth knife guy is kind of lingering and trying to look to see what's going on.
Orion just looking at the fish, commenting on about how beautiful they are.
I will
Biggest chatting up Ellen.
all right, so I will let's see, who do I want to bring this
No
to?
one cares if you steal shit.
That's the problem. It's not what you care, it's not what you guys care about. It's how the way he perceives this. He doesn't see the risks in the same way. So he'll announce that I have found weapons. I found a short sword and 3 daggers. If anybody needs to arm themselves for I don't know, any reason.
Well,
And I will present a box that only has a short sword and 3 daggers.
Interesting.
Okay.
I have gained 15 silver.
All right.
Dick
Ellen's
nugget.
Ellen was take a look at his crappy driftwood quarters. I was like, I suppose I could use a more sturdy method to defend myself. He will take one of the daggers.
Okay.
And then I will, as you take one of the daggers,
Surely one of such noble birth, with proper training, you can take a short sword. You're the one best suited to use it, I think.
see, as a noble, you kind of have to do this now.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Otherwise, because he called you out on this.
Yep, yeah, he did. It's like, oh, well, I did not wish to presume the right, but you do make an excellent point.
As you take it, I will say, good choice. I believe he was correct in that statement also.
An excellent fit for your hand, it seems. Destiny smiles on us yet again.
We're just going to be a traveling troupe.
I hope we all planned to make bards.
Yes.
I was gonna say, if so, you guys are going to solve these problems in a whole different way than I planned.
And Tom just stays a commoner, and we play him up as this amazing.
He will be Tom the Great.
Actually, if you want like a bit of a shot in the future, I want this character to become a barbarian. Seriously. I want him to do a complete 180 and become the noble savage. Or at least his definition of a noble savage.
You found the joy that is not being confined by the restrictions of a civilized society.
Yes. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
So then I will go over to Big. Did you want one?
Yeah, he'll pick up the knife, twirl his fingers a little bit, and stash in his belt.
And then I will move over to Orange.
Orange. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As
Would
you
you
do,
like one?
Garrett kind of scrambles across the dirt, and he's like, I'll take one, and he reaches inside.
All right. He looks at as he holds the box in front of Orange. He just stares. He just stares at Garrett. He doesn't hide this shit. He just stares at him
Garrett,
with a
Garrett
blank face.
just takes the dagger out, and he takes it out, and he starts doing like these, like if you give a little kid like a toy sword, they start doing these like practice swings that are just terrible. That's Garrett right now.
Excellent maneuvers, my friend. Surely you will be a great warrior.
Yes. Great warrior. Would you like one, Orange?
Oh, no thank you, Rusty.
All right. And then I will move over.
I'm not carrying a quarterstaff either, by the way.
I will then move over to what's his name? The ship hand.
Timid.
Timond.
You made us write our stuff in the chat, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to know their race. We need to know their background. So I will go over to Tim and I'll look at him and the lady, and then I'll look at him again. I suppose you. I'm not sure who I should offer this to, but I believe you. I know. So do not think too presumptuous of me that I'm offering the dagger to you over the lady.
Timid nods, and he says, it's fine. I will stay close to the lady.
Perfect. We are all protected now.
I still hope for a diplomatic solution with whatever we find.
There are animals who do not believe in diplomatic solutions.
And in those situations, I hope that they may become friends.
There you go. They're in chat for you.
Thank you.
One can only hope.
Okay.
Human liar.
So,
Garrett, or
You-
Mr. Fourth Knife, why do they call you a liar?
I don't think we have
He,
that information.
he tells you that he's a farmer, but I mean, you can take
Man.
it for what you want. He doesn't seem to be a farmer.
Hey, perfect answer. Why are you liar? I'm a farmer.
So, you've made it back to originally where you washed up. Like I said, there's flotsam that's out here, and some of it has dried up. There's enough that you could probably salvage together a little bit of a raft. It wouldn't be bigger than 2 people sitting on it, so the rest of you would have to swim alongside of it, but it would be better than just swimming without something to hold yourself up long. But to do so, you will need something to lash the boards together with. There does happen to be lots of vines inside the jungle.
What time of day is it?
It's like early afternoon, say about 3 o'clock, if you would.
Well, do we plan on setting out today? Because by the time we finish, it might be almost night. It might be in our best interest to set up camp.
Well, regardless, we do not have much to set up camp with. So I don't think it would be unwise to at least search for the proper materials to build the raft. If that takes too long, then set camp we shall.
We could always do both.
Timon speaks up and he says, let's see, Mr. Devenor, the seas in this area tend to be quite sporadic. I believe the Warforged can speak on this one. If it does not look like we are able to go, I would agree that it wouldn't be best to cross the islands at night, but we should probably build ourselves shelter if we have any inkling that we might have to stay.
That would be for the best.
I see. Very well.
Small vacation in the southern of the world may provide a decent respite from what ails you. I shall go get some branches and leaves to construct a small shelter.
Timon says, there is enough of us. We can split up if you want to divide us up and have some of us go look for things for shelter and others go look for the things to build the raft. We could always do that.
That seems like a reasonable idea. How would I split us up?
From kind of the interactions, it seems that Timon has stayed true to his word. He's stayed very close to Lady Catherine because he promised that he'd make sure that she was all right. That may persuade you to split it one way or another.
Vic already is up next to you with his hand on your shoulders. Well, let's get to it.
I'm sorry, I was looking at this. It's like, alright, so, very well. Then I propose that the group that shall go looking for the materials to build the materials to build the raft will be, yeah, look up your names again. Orange, Rusty, and Vig, and Garrett. The rest of us shall see what we can do about building shelter.
Garrett kind of looks in the jungle, and he looks real nervous, and he's like, "Yeah, we can do this. Yeah, let's go." And he'll kind of start taking a few steps, but they're very nervous steps until you join him.
As he starts taking to, and when I notice he's nervous, I will walk up to him, pat him on the back. Do not worry, we will be safe.
I believe in you, Garrett. You are stronger than you know.
Garrett has like a tight-fisted grip on this knife. He's got like the handle in one hand and his hand on the sheath with the other, and he's just like holding it in front of him like this as you're going through the jungle. He looks real nervous. He's lost a lot of color in his face.
I'm keeping my eye on him at all times.
You guys hear noises, and being from Barishtar, you're familiar with some of the more tropical creatures that are around. And one of which happens to be things like monkeys and parrots and things like that. And they're definitely here inside the jungle. You've seen some of them, and they're snakes and things like that. And that seems to be most of what's causing the noises that you've been hearing. It's just small wildlife. The biggest predator on the island seems to be what you would refer to as a swimming snake. It's a snake that when these islands flood, they tend to eat whatever they can and then swim to the nearest non-submerged land.
So as we're going, I'm just going to keep on telling Garrett of stories of all these animals, like how these monkeys will tear your face off if you're not paying attention, or how these snakes will crawl up into your clothes and bite you all over, or how these parrots will peck your eyes out if you get within 20 feet of their home.
So,
Animals are so
My goal
amazing. They
is
find
literally
ways
to
to
scare
recycle
him more and
everything.
more and more. I want to
Orange
keep him
tries to-
on edge.
Orange tries to spin it as nature recycles everything. Isn't nature wondrous?
Oh no, I'm not. You're actually helping with that because
so
you're solidifying my statements.
Vig starts making a rhyme for all the horrible things you described in the jungle. So that imagine.
So, Rusty, it occurs to you as you're kind of spinning these stories that the one creature on the island that doesn't make sense actually is the monkeys. During flood season, the monkeys wouldn't be able to swim to another island unless there's actually a quite larger one nearby, and you haven't seen anything because you walked the whole perimeter, which means that they probably were brought here by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has a way off the island to get away.
Monkeys don't swim that well. But yeah, I'll keep mind of that. I'll try to keep mind of also the groupings of how the monkeys are. Like, do they seem like they're loners, or do they seem like they're part of actual family packs? Like normally,
Yeah, they seem to be a small family pack, but they don't seem to be like related. Like normally when you see a family pack, it's a lot of like monkeys that look very similar to each other.
Yeah.
You have like different types of monkeys as you're kind of looking around, and it looks like I said just a moment ago, is that they may have been transplanted and they're forming their own family group now, but they don't look like they were previously a family group. They're very spaced out, but they are close enough that they can keep watch over each other still.
Why would someone choose this island to do this if this island floods?
To what? Good friend?
Until I have a better
When you start to
understanding.
mutter that, Gareth starts pulling the knife out and he's shaking again, and he's like, "What's going on? Is it the monkeys?" And he whips out the knife and he almost loses control of it because he's so nervous.
When I noticed that, and honestly, and I will let you know, Chris, this is literally part of my traits I rolled. I have a tell when I lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a Warforged, I'm not good at lying. So but he's so nervous, it's very easy for me. So I'm taking my shots where I can. So when he gets nervous with monkeys, I'm saying, he must be a mind reader. That's exactly what the problem is. These monkeys don't belong here. These ones even worse than the ones that do.
Oh.
They must have eaten the previous pack that was here. These ones are more bloodthirsty.
He's like beating up in his eyes, like he's gonna cry. He's so terrified right now. He's like, we just need to get the vines and get out of here. This is not good. And he starts cutting some vines off here, and he's collecting it, just of varying lengths, just anything that he can get his hands on. And the part of the jungle that you're in is probably one of the better areas because there's a lot of the vinage around here, so it's as good as any to collect, really. But the whole time you can kind of keep an eye on these monkeys. They're watching you and keeping a safe distance, which normally, if the monkeys don't have a lot of human interaction, they would get closer to you. So these things have definitely had some human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Big will nudge you. It's like, just how much of that were you lying about?
Are you is Garrett within the noise range of speaking?
He's a little bit outside of it, and he's kind of nervously collecting things. He's not paying attention anymore.
Okay. Monkeys aren't really that bad, but it is true they do not belong. These ones do not belong here. These ones were brought here by I'm not really sure who, but they've definitely had interactions with sentient beings. you can tell that they don't get close.
Soga, who is very tall and lean, kind of leans in over you very, very
Very
lightly.
awkwardly. Yeah.
Especially because
Yeah, he goes-
I don't know, how tall are you?
Oh, almost 8 feet tall.
I'm
I
like,
can imagine
I'm
these
5 feet
shadows
tall.
slowly coming over us as we
Yeah.
talk to each other.
There's a shadow that descends over you. And you see that Orange has a very aggravated look. His normal optimistic, he goes, "You shouldn't lie."
Brendan, I thought I should let you know your headset is cracking a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if cycling power might help you. The wireless one, right?
I think it's just his internet being shitty.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
When you say
I was
you
going to say, we
shouldn't
can make
lie,
you out for the most part. I just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
okay, you say you shouldn't lie. I say,
with a very serious and angry look on his face.
I will say that I have to apologize profusely to you for. At the time, I was not. I was mistaken for certain other species. As I started realizing and looking as I was explaining them, I started figuring things out. But to change up my story now on him would make him more on edge. So I just went with the flow. But it is true; those monkeys do not belong.
Okay, so his eyes will do like the animate you thing, and a smile will come back over his face, and he's like, "Ah, I get it. I understand. You were misinformed at the time. This is truly a tragedy. Well, I'm glad that you figured it out. Is there anything we can do to help these monkeys?"
If we can barely help ourselves. I do have to apologize that we cannot help them right now. If we somehow acquired a boat, and we had the time and the resources, we could save them before the flood season happens.
A thought. He's still leaning over you, by the way.
Yeah.
Just awkwardly. A thought. If someone brought them here, maybe someone comes and checks on them.
Possibly the other island. We did see smoke from something that knows how to start fire.
We should speak to Ellen very quickly. And then he like leans up, head up, and he just screams out, "Ellen!"
That's not helping.
You hear the scream from the jungle?
Welcome to the jungle.
What?
Yeah, you guys can scream to each other, but like all the animals that were in here are like scurrying away from all the noise.
And I'm like,
go swim over to the
don't-
other island.
don't do that. You're gonna agitate all the animals. And then after I say that, I look right over at Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett is now like swinging his knife, spinning around, and like out of pure stupid luck, Garrett managed to swing his knife around and catch one of these swimming snakes, decapitating the thing. Which, had it not, it probably would have bit him and poisoned him.
Damn it!
Did Ellen hear me, by the way, that I'm swimming over to the other island?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm walking away now.
Do you have anything to yell in response?
Would I?
When he starts walking away, I'm like, I look at him, look at Vig, look at Garrett, and I'm like,
Garrett's got like arms, just like one arm is full of vines, like more than enough, and the other one is just like holding the knife all shaky.
Garrett.
And he's definitely openly weeping now.
Yeah. And I look at Mr. Fourth Knife, and I point in the direction of where Ellen is. Go that way. That's where the others are. You have enough of what you came here for. Before they attack again.
He nods his head. He's like, yeah. They didn't run that way. I'll go back to the beach.
Exactly.
And he kind of like takes his hand and he wipes his face a little bit, and he's like, I just didn't want to do that again. And he starts running.
And as he starts running, I will yell back to Ellen, "Me and Orange are going to the other island. We're going to check it out."
Hold on, back. You'll hear, "Yay! A friend will be accompanying me."
It's mostly because I couldn't leave you alone. You're too naive on your own. Then I look at you. Then I look at Vig. So I'm gonna go that way. When I leave.
Well, we'll be meeting the others. You'll need someone of verbosity to help you out, considering that welcome wagon over there.
Are you planning to
And he
swim?
points at a branch and he'll follow you.
Sorry.
But as me and Vig are walking now towards Orange, I would say, but seriously, that snake he killed, stay away from those things. Those things actually will kill you.
Interesting. The thing is, like, my goal is to be the hero for the commoners, and my brain has already declassified these three as commoners, so I don't have to like try to take charge of them.
So out of the brush comes Garrett, and Garrett throws down the vines, and he drops the knife in the dirt or the sand, and he's got tears all over his face. He looks beet red, and he's got like terrible sniffles. He's like, "I hope they're okay. They went the other way."
They'll be fine, Garrett. And so will you, I say as I kneel down and put my hand on his shoulder. You did fine work this day. Stories we told of your bravery, braving the jungle to get the resources we need to build a raft.
He's like,
From the other end. Hold on. Can I ask a question, Chris?
Yeah.
Can I hear that from the other end of where I'm going?
Oh my god.
No, you wouldn't be able to hear it because it's a conversation just at normal.
Damn it! I want to start yelling a ballad of Garrett Forthnight, the human with courage of steel.
You'll get back. You'll get to it another time.
But Gareth wipes away, like he's taking like beach sand that's stuck to his hands that are all wet now, and he's like wiping beach sand into his face to wipe away tears. It's just messy. And he goes, "No, I killed it. I killed it.
Killed what?
The snake. It was just trying to eat. I killed it. I killed again."
Well, things die in nature. Wait, what do you mean again?
This is the first time. I didn't mean to. And he picks up the knife and he goes, I shouldn't have this. And he starts trying to push it on you.
Like, I will take the knife and try not to let him stab me by accident.
That's a good call, because he might have. You get the feeling this is the first time he's actually been real honest with you. And he's saying that he's killed before, and it's just something he's not comfortable with, but he's not going to go into any great detail.
I did my job.
Let's see here. What is the skill? Not investigation. 5th edition. Insight? Insight. Yep.
Fortunately, not one of the skills I have, but I'll
You
try
can
rolling
still
it.
roll it.
11.
11. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, he's definitely telling the truth now, and you get the feeling that he doesn't mean another animal.
How would he?
Just fading away, you hear Vig singing Garrett the Frightful Ferret.
Alright. I will cast a meaningful glance at the other people, and then just sort of like gently pull Garrett away, like not out of line of sight of everyone else, just like off to the side so we can speak in private.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of goes with you, and he's like, I'm sorry, my lord, I shouldn't be telling you my problems.
It's fine, it's fine. Though I would imagine that these problems do need to have some sort of resolution, if only for the safety of everyone else here. Now, could you tell me more about what you've done?
He kind of looks around, and he goes, well, I've been wanting to say it to somebody. Lady Catherine's manservant on the ship. I got wind that he was talking to some of the crew members. Apparently they were going to stage a a pirate attack along the way, and she was going to be taken hostage and held for money from the guilds. And of course, they figured that they could get some money out of the deal, and I panicked. I'm just a kitchen hand. I cut vegetables for a living. I stabbed a man, and I didn't mean to.
I see.
I couldn't let them do it. They were going to risk all of us.
It's like, Garrett, you are a good man. You did what you could, and no one will fault you for that.
I need to get to the freelance. I gotta make up for what I did somehow.
It is fine. If you, how do I put this? My family holds territory in the Freelands. It's not much, but it is a
Because
state
I haven't claimed it yet.
Yeah, yes. I'm sort of like talking around this truth.
You're speaking like a nobleman. Keep it going.
It is small, in fact, it is literally non-existent, but that's besides the point.
I just haven't gone there to make sure that you maybe have it.
It's like, It's like, anyway, I have small holdings in the Freelands, which I'm going to claim. I will need people to serve me. And by the sound of it, you had the courage to stand up and for what you believed in spite of the fact it presented danger to yourself. And while I know that it weighs heavily on your heart, believe me, what you did was justified. I could use a man like yourself on my staff.
Well, my lord, I'm sorry to say, but I'm at best a cook. I've been training to be a chef all my life, but I wouldn't be able to defend you like I defended Lady Catherine.
Wonderful. I could always use more cooks. That's a specialty right there. Anyone can swing a sword, but swinging a knife to cut an onion? That takes 2 skill.
Okay. I gotta. I mean, I'll trust you, but should I tell the others? I feel like I need to.
Leave that to me. I shall handle such matters.
Of course. Of course. And he goes to shake your hand, and then he realizes that you're a noble and he really shouldn't be doing that. He's like, "Thank you, my lord. I appreciate the kindness you showed to me today."
Think nothing of it. He'll just kind of nod his head in acceptance.
Okay. And Garrett will follow you from that point back over to the group, and he'll begin kind of fasting the stuff to be able to make a kind of a makeshift lean-to out of some large banana leaves and the vines that he found while Timond is kind of strapping boards together to create the raft. Garrett has kind of changed his tone. He's a little bit more upbeat now because he's finally gotten that off his chest, and he seems a little bit more helpful in general, especially towards you.
Excellent. Hate working my hands, but my voice? Perfect. Speaking of which, I will pull the Lady Catherine aside to tell her of what I was told.
Okay. So, because this is a level 0 adventure, for anybody who's watching, we started with base stats of 10 and everything, and during this adventure, we're going to take momentary breaks when they hit a milestone. Right now is a milestone, by the way. They got Garrett 4th Knife to admit his crime. So what we're going to do is reward you guys. You will have 5 ability score points that you can either spend now or you can save. Basically, the point buy score is going to accumulate to what would be 33 point buy, so we're going to be a little bit stronger than normal point buy characters. And it will be 3 stops of 5 experience, and then a final one of 5 ability score points, and then a final one of 6 ability score points, plus the 10s that they have and everything already. You will also gain a class trait advancement based upon how you were performing inside the adventure so far. which I would suggest weapon proficiency for most everybody here, just because you haven't really had a chance to do anything divine or arcane unless you think that you can explain how so to me.
At best, I made a liar an honest man.
Mm-hmm.
But the closest I can
Did
see,
you really?
I scared him honest. And I made sure Ellen has a manservant now.
Inadvertently.
To be fair, I was trying to scare him dead, but you know, whatever. The goal was to get him. The goal was to make him reveal himself. So you know, I did my job.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll go ahead and continue from here. You guys are crossing to the second island, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We'll pick up with that. You've made it across. That test did work. You've made it across to the second island, and the beach here is very similar. It's a white sand. It's easy to kind of get up onto the beach and stuff like that. And the swim wasn't as bad as you expected it to be because the waters are actually quite calm right now. The channel that's between those two islands being very small, it gets some of the waves blocked off.
Chris, I sent you a message, by the way.
I can agree to that. That's fine.
So did we get there?
You've made it across. Uh-huh. The smokestack is still coming from the center of the jungle, and it's still going strong.
Ah, we made it.
Chris, I don't
Excellent.
suppose I saw anything on the bottom of the seafloor on my way there.
Debris, bits of metal pieces and things like that from the ship. You're going to find, actually, because I forgot, you walk along the bottom, so there's
That's
things
what
that
I'm
you can find. You will find a breastplate actually down there.
Nice.
A set of chainmail and a shield.
So a breastplate, a set of chainmail, and a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And you
Which
said
you
we
can easily drag with you.
Yeah. I'm just
That's-
gonna.
It doesn't look like it's been down here very long, so most likely it came from the same ship.
Yeah.
You already know that the ship had some arms on board for defensive crew and stuff like that, so that's probably what this is.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna drag him along.
The other thing that you find is another box that you can choose to pry open while you're at the bottom, or you can open it up when you're outside.
I'm gonna wait until I get out.
Okay. So a few moments after you guys hit the beach, Rusty will actually come waltzing out of the water, dragging a breastplate and chainmail and behind him and a shield over the other side and a box tucked under his arm.
So I found stuff while I was down there.
Oh,
Uh,
very good. I'm sure that that Noble Ellen will appreciate this.
for now, I figured Viggy said he wants to look big and strong, and I'll motion at the armor. And while he's looking at the armor, I'm gonna pry open the box.
Back in a sec.
So it is a breastplate and chainmail, I think is what I'm thinking of.
You said breastplate. You specifically said breastplate, chainmail, and a shield.
Yes. I was looking at, I was trying to find the gear in the 5th edition book real quick to make sure I'm thinking of the correct armors here.
Yeah.
Armor and shields. Because I'm sorry, I forgot. Chain shirt is what I was trying to think of, but that's actually medium armor inside 5th. I forgot about that. So it's for me correcting myself, we're going to say you found studded leather and a breastplate.
Hold on, is breastplate? What is breastplate? Medium?
Breastplate's medium. The studded
Okay.
leather is light.
Yeah, you were trying to give us one light, one medium.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
then the shield, of course.
I'm sure.
And it's fit for being worn after being in the ocean.
It'll take a little bit to dry it out, but you kind of size it up to yourself. It looks like it should fit you. With the leather being wet, actually, you could probably kind of push it a little bit because leather armor is actually boiled, so it's already been shrunk down from water exposure.
Well, big and strong, no. I'd rather let my words do the work for me. But that leather looks sure of a lot better than these rags I'm wearing.
Then please.
And
I don't know.
Rusty, you can attach that breastplate to yourself if that's something you choose to do as well.
I don't have proficiencies for it though.
No, nobody has proficiency with anything right now.
But it's probably still gonna help me more by having it than not having it. Yeah, I'm just gonna affix it to myself.
Okay.
And I look at the shield. I look at Vig. I look at Orange, and I'm like, I look at Orange, and I don't suppose you want a shield. You could use it to
Orange?
block. Yeah, you could use it to block out the sunlight.
No.
Then we will be on our way, and I will take it upon
Best to use
myself.
my shield.
And I'm gonna pry open the box.
Okay. This box, when you wrench it open, it makes that satisfying crunch sound as the boards and the nails separate. What you find inside the box is 6 vials that have kind of a red concoction with little bits of silver floating inside them. You take a look. There's a sheet of paper that's inside there that's been sealed up inside a waterproof envelope thing, which is actually quite common for most shipping goods. You tear open the wax-sealed envelope.
Ooh, you shouldn't do that.
Paper
You're not
wax.
the owner.
Inside it says that it belongs to the Lovefin Merchant Guild, or Merchant House, rather.
Yep.
And it says that this crate is holding 6 healing potions.
I understand your concerns, Orange, but without opening up, I could not know who to return these to.
I accept this. You are truly an honest man. Excuse me. Mechanism? Machine. Do you mind if I just call you a Warforged?
I prefer if you
How
call
about
me
even better? Peace Forged.
Rusty.
Rusty. Well, okay. Rusty, you truly are an honest thing.
I can accept that. If it's okay with you, Orange, I'm going to hold on to these vials because holding on to the box will be way more cumbersome.
Okay.
And
Do you have a way to proof those against the weather?
Not as of right now, but I'll figure something on the go, I guess.
We should remember where we leave the box, so that way we can resale it and bring it with us.
The box I'm gonna put right here, right on the beach, right where we came up. I'm gonna grab some rocks, put them right on top, right? So,
Okay.
So
Just
this
in case
way,
the water comes up, it doesn't get washed away.
yeah, this way we not only will we know where the box is, but we also know the best direction to come from to go back to our island.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Okay. So you managed to unpack that. Are you guys going to go towards the fire?
Yes, because Mr. Let's talk everything out. Wants to go to the fire.
Hey, I went against my natural instincts to play something that kills everybody it meets.
No, I'm not saying anything about it, bad about that.
The Soga are masterful diplomancers.
You have Vig, the diplomancer, who is just an Italian tough guy. You have Orange. Yeah, you seem like, an Italian tough guy to me. Trying to get with all the ladies, but still talk it out.
Okay. So let's kind of keep it moving here. So you guys move through the jungle, and going through this island is actually more what you'd expect as far as wildlife. There's nothing that seems out of the norm. Things that you'd expect to be able to leave the island during the flood season can definitely do so.
Yeah. I will. I'm going to suggest to the other two that I'm going to go a little bit ahead to make sure that we don't run into any wildlife that doesn't belong also, in case someone introduced bad wildlife here. So,
An excellent idea. And I'll lift our spirits with a nice traveling tune. Would you care to join me, Vig?
He'll start whistling.
so, Chris, I'm actually going to roll a stealth check
Okay.
because I'm a criminal and I actually do legitimately have proficiency in stealth checks.
Yeah, but your proficiency bonus is 0.
Yeah, but my dex is a 12. So I get a +1.
Okay.
That's an 18 stealth check.
18 stealth, perfect. So you're kind of creeping along, and you'll actually make it to the edge of what appears to be a village. There are some thatch buildings here that have been brightly painted. There's a large pit fire inside the center, and you see these people that appear to be wearing feathered capes and headdresses towards the center of the fire. You're not quite close enough to make out who exactly they are, but they seem to be wearing like bird masks.
They're wearing bird masks.
At least that's what it looks like from this distance. You, of course,
Alright.
can get closer to better inspect it.
Yeah. I'm going to try to get closer.
Okay. As you start to get a little closer, you come to the realization that it's not people in bird suits. It's actually some of the Garuda race. These are some of the tropical ones, which are actually quite, they're the rarest ones that are out there. This seems to be one of their villages. You also know that Garuda are not a flight species, so they would have to have a way off this island as well.
Yes, but they are not idiots at the same time, so they could know things. I'm pretty much gonna just observe them, make sure that they're not doing anything. Like, do they seem dangerous, or they just seem like a normal tribe?
No, they seem to be celebrating something, actually. There's a lot of food, there's some music, which, because they're not very quiet. For the other two, you were trailing a little bit behind. You start to hear music coming through the woods.
Good, I was worried that they were going to be discovered.
Okay. It's actually quite a neat tune. It's not quite something that you've heard before, whereas in Xiaoyun, the music is very regimented and segmented. And then when you went to Akrisha, you learned about some of these greater pieces and things like that, where it sounds a little bit more like chamber music. This is almost alive. It's a very vibrant music. And you'll actually be able to, you probably won't see him because of how well Rusty is kind of hidden himself. Do you just kind of continue to walk straight into this camp now that you see that there's buildings and people around it? Okay. Rusty, do you want to do anything to stop it, or are you just going to watch?
There was no stopping them in the first place. That's why I went ahead.
Okay.
As Vega's whistling along with them, he's gonna keep whistling and slowly back off a little bit into the side as he keeps happily marching in
Okay.
to watch what happens.
Perfect. So the as you approach the tribe here, it's very clearly that they are Garuda, though you've never seen a tropical one before. You know that they exist. This happens to be a whole tribe of them. And they're having a party, and they see you come up, and they kind of whistle and chirp to each other. And one that appears to be a little bit more in charge stands up, and he opens his arms up and kind of holds them out, and he says, "I welcome you in peace." And he bends forward.
I come in peace, and I lean forward.
Okay. He says, "Please sit at my fire and share my food."
I would love to. Hopefully, we can have a cultural exchange of stories and song.
So when you say we, you're in your head thinking about you and your two friends, and then you realize your two friends are not there. But the chieftain, or at least the elder that's talking to you, understands it to be you and him as we. So he doesn't think anything of it.
I just kind of look around and go, oh, okay. And then I'll just walk forward.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank God for naive people.
They sit down, and
I'm just glad I'm not their golden god.
they sit down with you and they share food, and they don't ask you any questions until you've actually eaten a full plate. And the one that greeted you, he says, "It is our custom to feed any visitors and to learn of their personage. Tell me a little bit about yourself."
The long-winded story of this auditory performance, I'm actually going to try to make this an exciting thing for them, if I may.
So you'd like to do a performance check?
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
21, perfect.
I got a 9.
So you begin telling the epic of your travels, and they listen intently, and they, at the end of it, the elder who is speaking with you, he says, "Traveler, you have come from a very distant land. Our cousins from the mainland, they unfortunately were at war with your nation at one point. We do not see the same as our cousins. Our cousins are more aggressive. We choose to live at peace with nature. I would like to give you a gift as a friend to the tribe." And he'll kind of wave over one of the musicians, and the musician will come over, and he has the reed flute. And he'll say, "Please take this as a souvenir of your visit here. I believe we may be able to help each other. To be honest, was hoping that you might know or were a warrior. We've had some trouble. There are pirates that have holed up on the other side of this island. They've destroyed all of our small craft, but the flood season is approaching. Within the next 2 months, we must leave."
Okay. So for the record, in response to this, I go, I apologize profusely, Great Elder, that I am not a warrior. However, I would like to give you a gift now to show my respect and thanks for your food and hospitality. And I take out my book of chanting and whatever from my monastery, and I give this great long explanation of what this is and its importance, and I hand it to the elder.
And the book itself is pretty waterlogged. It's pretty damaged. As you kind of talk to the elder, you realize it, and the elder makes no inclination that he's dissatisfied with it. He takes it respectfully and he sets it down. He actually sets it kind of closer to the fire so that it can start to dry.
Okay, and I say, "Well, I may not be a warrior. I was shipwrecked with several people, and there is a mighty warrior amongst us. His name, Garrett Forthknife. No, he is only a farmer. He has proven his mettle in battle several times since I have met him.
Orange, there you are, my friend.
Ah!
And Big
Friend
will
Vic,
walk out.
it is a pleasure to see you again.
I lost you in the woods.
Oh,
I
that's
see.
a terrible thing, that.
They of course
Honored
greet you.
Elder! Huh?
The elder comes up and of course greets you and brings you to the fire to feed you as well. We're gonna. Oh, Tom disappeared on me. Never mind.
I will make the
Tom said.
introductions between
Mm-hmm.
between Vig and the Honored Elder, and if Rusty eventually comes over, I will actually mention, did you see Rusty?
Oh, he's doing his own thing, I'm sure. But look at this wonderful face. And he's going to start chatting out the...
Didn't give a shit about me at all.
I will call out for
he's
Rusty.
fighting that way.
Okay.
Does Rusty come out?
Rusty. Uh,
Well, let's change gears for a moment while
yeah,
you think about that.
I'll think about that.
So, Tom, you stayed on Island A and set up camp. Everybody else seems to be pretty tired, just in general. You've gathered enough supplies for food for yourself and your friends should they return. And Garrett's put together a fire and has begun cooking what he could find. It's basically like fruits and things like that he was able to pick up. And he got some of the snake meat from the one he took out earlier. So your dish tonight is going to be an exotic blend of fruit and snake meat.
Scrumptious.
It actually tastes better than it looked.
One could even say it tasted like chicken.
No, swordfish.
The little bit more disturbing thing is that as the night goes, or as it goes towards nighttime, the woods themselves, or the forest or jungle behind you, there we go, seems to be making more and more noise. You can hear those monkeys howling and now. Garrett seems pretty nervous in general, but he seems a little bit more confident now because he believes that you and him are friends.
How many bullshit? Like, I'll sort of like wave off his nervousness. Worry not, it's probably just their mating season or some such.
Yes, of course. Would you like a second helping? And he kind of like grabs a skewer and hands it to you.
Yes, thank you kindly. Ellen will never turn down pampering.
Okay. Timmond will kind of look across to the jungle as well, and he says, "I don't know. They sound like they're a little pissed."
Yes.
All over what? And even if they are, why would they come out to the beach?
I don't know. I think maybe we should kind of keep watch over them. How about this? I'll turn in now, and then when they get back, they're gonna be too tired to stay up. So just wake me up, and I'll watch us for the night. That way, if those things do come through, we can at least try and get us all up in time.
Very well.
Okay, so Timon beds down. Timon actually took the dagger that had been tossed aside by Garrett, and he's attached it to Flotsam to make himself a spear. He hasn't had luck getting some of the fish that are out there, but at least he's trying, kind of deal. Lady Catherine has been no help at all, to be honest. She's just kind of sat to the side, but you know how noble women are. That's not terribly uncommon. After about an hour or so, all of the noise that has been like building and howling over there just kind of stops, and it goes almost too quiet for a good minute, and then you hear crashing sounds. The creatures in the jungle are coming your direction.
Oh dear. Timmins, wake up. We have problems.
He grabs the spear. He rolls over. He says, "What is it?"
Everything's coming our way.
Okay. As you say that, literally the jungle starts pouring out. The creatures seem to be scared. They're running away. They don't even bother with you.
I say we follow them.
They're going to the beach, and those that can fly off will do so. The swimming snakes are going to the other island, and you hear kind of like heavy footsteps now coming from the jungle, and trees being moved and broken.
I say we follow the snakes. They seem to have a good idea.
Timmond kind of looks into the jungle, hearing these like heavy footfalls, and then he looks back over to it's now nighttime, swimming is not really a good plan. He's like, yeah, I guess that might be a good plan.
It might be the optimal plan, not necessarily a good one.
He drags Lady Catherine to the beach, and I assume you're also going to retreat?
Yes.
Okay. Garrett is immediately the first one in the water because he's terrified of everything. But as you get out, you can kind of turn back and you see that on the beach there's this massively huge ape that has wandered over to the shore side, and it doesn't appear to know how to swim. The monkeys that were on the island don't really know how to swim either. Like they're kind of doing a doggy paddle, but you know that they're not going to last. But this ape doesn't follow them across the ocean. It's just roaring and beating its chest at this point.
Well, I mean, still swimming away. Don't want to deal with that.
Yep. After a little bit of time, you'll actually make it to the other island. Luckily, your raft was put together ahead of time, so you actually brought that with you. So it made that trip a little bit easier. Once you make it to the shoreline, there's an open crate with some rocks in it where you pull up.
Huh. Well, at least this is a sign that someone made it over here.
The smoke is still coming from the center of that island.
Well, onwards, I suppose. I mean, either we try to camp out on the beach here, or we try to find out where our compatriots went.
Garrett kind of pipes up and he says, I believe Lord Ellen's correct. We should definitely go through the jungle. It looks like it might be a fire. And they may have better food than just snakes. Again, I'm terribly sorry, but that was all we had.
I don't know. Actually kind of like it. Interesting. Thus begins Ellen's love for snake meat.
So, Garrett feels kind of fortified because you've shown that you'll make sure that he's taken care of, and he's definitely kind of got like hero worship going on right now. And he'll walk with you confidently now because he knows that you're not going to let him just die stupidly. Lady Catherine has pretty much had enough for the day. She's going kind of slow. Timmond has to keep helping her. But going through the jungle isn't nearly as bad on this island. It's pretty easy moving. You'll make it through the jungle, and you'll see your friends are around a fire pit with these birdmen. You've never seen a Garuda yourself because generally they come from the Freelands. You haven't been to the Freelands before this, but this is definitely the Garuda race you've heard about. The stories that you've heard is they're kind of like warfaring and a little mad at the people of the north in Shaoyun.
Do they have alcohol?
They do.
Okay, in that case, before you even see us, you'll hear You'll hear Vig slowly, sadly singing a tragedy about love lost. And you'll come upon them around the fireplace. He looks awfully morose. He's wearing leather armor now, but he's still wearing his soggy, ruined hat for some reason. Like the feather is like half gone.
Well, I will stop it.
The Garuda will see you approaching and stand, and he bows and he says, "I welcome you in peace."
Greetings, my fine gentlemen. We humbly accept your hospitality.
Friend Ellen! Friend Garrett! Friend Lady Catherine! And friend Timmond!
The elder looks back and he says, "Ah, you know Orange. Please, come to the fire and be friends. We have food and drink."
Thank you kindly.
If you would like to rest for the evening, it appears that the great Howler is awoken.
Yes, we noticed that. We were on the other island until a few minutes ago.
Do not fear. He unfortunately does not, or fortunately, I should say, does not know how to swim. Most of those creatures come to our island for shelter during the day. But the food that they prefer, the bananas and things like that, grow on that island mainly. So they'll be back in the morning once the Howler has gone to sleep.
Chris, can I if you'd permit me to be a little bit of Batman and just start talking to him as if I was just there with the group?
Sure.
Because I just want to ask him a quick question about that stuff, and pretty much act like I've always been there.
Yeah, sure.
That does not sound like any animal that belongs on that island. Do you know how it came to be?
Yes, I was just speaking with our friend
Rusty?
Soga, or with our friend Orange, rather. Please sit down. I'll tell you the tale. About 3 months ago, some men that call themselves the Black Skull Crew, they came and attempted to take our village. While we are not a warring people, we do know how to bend the elements and the very nature of this island to our will. We used our own natural magics to be able to protect this island, but the Black Skull Crew is still here. They decided to hole up in a bay that's on the north of this island. Unfortunately, when they came, they destroyed all of our ships as we attempted to make friends with them. Their ship is the only one that's still in one piece, and without it, I'm afraid my people don't have time to build a new ship to return to the Freelands before the flood season starts.
That is quite unfortunate.
Honored Elder, may we help you? Please?
It is my hope that you would. My people and I have sworn an oath to not take a life while we have successfully distracted the pirates. We cannot do anything about it, and they are unwilling to take us back to land without paying in gold, something that we do not care for.
Okay.
Oh, no worries. Alan here is a great hero.
And Garrett is a great warrior.
The elder looks and he goes, "You must be Garrett," looking at Timmond. And Garrett goes, "No, I'm Garrett." He's like, "Warrior Garrett," and he bends forward. "I have been told of your mighty deeds in the jungle." Garrett just looks really confused.
Please do not be so shy, Garrett. I witnessed it myself. That snake was coming right at Vig. If not, he would have been out for the count.
Vague sitting on a log just spasms and falls back to the ground like a rag doll.
See, that is what would have happened if he had not protected him. Iran, you saw it
Claps for
yourself.
Vic's rendition.
The elder says, indeed, the swimming snakes are quite poisonous. It is good that you were able to save life.
Of course.
Perhaps you can take that mercy to the pirates. I do not wish them dead, I just wish that my people can return to the mainland. If at all possible, I'd like to take them with us and give them back their ship once we've arrived.
I shall go talk to them right now.
I
Orange
will-
gets up.
I will grab you. Perhaps we could wait for the morning instead.
Why?
Well, we're all very tired.
I'm
Some
not
of us
tired.
Well, some of us are perhaps more than others. And
So then you should sleep.
yes,
Run. We will go in the
elder-
morning.
The elder says, you are more than welcome to stay here. I will arrange to have hammocks for each of you. And in the morning, I will have fresh clothing.
very kind of you, Elder. And I suggest we take up his offer on it. If for no other reason, then I'd rather us all be refreshed and at our best when meeting these fellows.
Oh, Ellen,
I
you're so wise.
Agree.
Who shall keep watch?
I shall take first watch.
Warrior Garrett. He shall protect us.
The elder says,
No, Gary must-
our watches have been assigned. We have our forest keepers. They will watch the village.
We must most graciously and humbly accept your offer. He bows with his arms wide open because he assumes that that's just like the greeting of these people or something.
It is.
Yeah.
In your time of talking with him, you've learned that they're actually very vain, albeit they are peace-loving. And when they bow like that, what they're doing is completely displaying their full plumage.
So I
You're showing
just
how awesome
display
they
my
are.
stick figure-like look.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, if that's the plumage you got.
Yeah, the night goes well. You get actual food and things like that. They eat a lot of nuts, berries, and some meat that you're not entirely certain what it is, but it does taste pretty good. Once the morning comes around, there has been clothes laid out for you.
Chris.
The Cubans are roughly Garuda size. The clothing's a little bit big on you. However, for the Soga, if you choose to use the Garuda's clothing that they provided for you, it's like a belly shirt.
No, I just kind of
And
wear
shorts.
like the picture has. I just wear like this monk's kind of obi almost down
Mhm.
my front part, and then I'm shirtless.
Okay.
And I don't wear shoes or anything.
If you wanted to take something like new or warm, they would gladly give you like a small sheet to be able to turn into a new obi.
No. I have been taught to live a simple life, but I thank you.
Okay.
Chris.
Alan, you can probably make some better use of this leather armor we found. And he'll offer it to you.
The breastplate should go to Mr. Forthknife, since he is our best warrior.
I left in the middle of the night, Chris.
Okay. You say that, and you realize that Rusty has left. He may have set out before you. He may be peeing. Who knows? Let's talk about what Rusty did.
That's actually kind of funny, because you just skipped over. I was actually going to use the peeing line, like, guys, I got to go to the bathroom, and then I was going to walk off
So,
and let people wonder.
Let's go back to him, and that's how Rusty actually leaves the little cabin that you've been put up in. Except for you're all asleep, so you don't hear him go, "I gotta pee," and he walks out. So what is your plan?
I'm going to.
Raid the village. Gotcha.
No, I don't figure they have. They don't have anything that I care for. Essentially my prime directive in my head is, you know, steal stuff that will support my people. These people won't support my people. Now, I can't really support my people by being stuck on this island. So I'm going to go check out the pirates on my own.
Okay. The Garuda do have like javelins and things like that, but it looks more like it's hunting equipment, not necessarily like full weapons.
No, I'm not gonna. No, they don't have anything that really is gonna do much for
Okay.
me. I have
So-
a dagger already, so
So you kind of journey your way through the jungle, and the jungle trip isn't too bad.
I'm gonna stay stealthed.
Okay. You'll approach where the Black Skull crew has pulled their ship into this bay, and it appears that for the most part the crew is drunkenly passed out on board. There's 6 crew members that you're able to see, 2 of which are standing guard, and it looks like they've got some large pins on the beach that are empty.
Pins?
Yeah, like wooden pins, like that you would put an animal in.
Oh, pen. Okay.
Mhm.
Um. Hmm. Does it look like the pens are being used?
No, they're empty.
Okay, you say there's 6 I can see. There's 2 standing guard. What about the other 4?
The other 4 are on the deck in various positions, passed out. Like there's one guy that's passed out on a bag full of potatoes.
Alright.
Another guy that's in a hammock.
I'm gonna travel a tiny bit out, go to a beach in a different spot,
Okay.
and I'm gonna walk underwater. I'm gonna go full Pirates of the Caribbean on this.
Okay. So you begin walking the ocean floor. So you have a max of 6 hit points. You've been doing a lot of like walking around underneath the water and dealing with the water. What I'm going to say is the acidity is going to give you 1 hit point worth of damage.
Yep.
For doing this stealth mission that you're going to do right now.
I will take that hit point. Damage, sure. I get
Perfect. So what would you like to do walking the ocean floor?
it.
You will make a discovery just because you happen to be walking the ocean floor.
Oh.
You're going to find bullets inside the dirt as you walk. It
Do they
appears
look
someone
like they-
was shooting bullets into the water.
Okay, so that answered me. I was gonna ask, do they look like they've been used or they've just been dumped? All right. Hmm. Okay. So my goal here, Chris, is I'm not trying to do anything to any of the pirates unless I see a good opportunity. My goal is mostly just to try to get a good number of all of them. I'm just trying to see if there's more than what I could see already. That's why I'm trying to. I'm going to be trying to, if I can, climb up onto the boat.
Yeah,
From the
you
other
can.
side.
Like, as a warforged, you can kind of swim, but it's
not the
hard.
easiest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very tasking to do so. What I would need is a swim check for you, just to see if you are able to successfully get to the ladder on the side of this boat and climb
I
up.
believe that's athletics.
Athletics, yes.
I rolled a 19 on my die. That's it.
Perfect. So you kind of fight your way up there, and you manage to just barely grab on it. And once you're on it, you've got more than enough strength to hoist yourself up.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna keep stealth, of course.
Mm-hmm. And what'll end up happening is you'll creep up to where the main deck is,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 guards are actually looking away, so you're able to kind of creep fully on and get to the hatch that'll lead you below decks.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go down.
Okay. Once you go to the lower deck, there's actually 4 cannons here.
Okay.
There's quite a bit of black powder or gunpowder that's in barrels. Of course, there's munitions for the cannons themselves. And this seems to just be a gun deck. There's another deck below. Once you open up the hatch for that one, you can see that there's some hammocks and things like that down there.
Does
That
look like
seems like the
anybody's.
best place to count people.
Yep. I'm gonna go do so.
Yep. So there are 2 additional people inside the hammocks that are completely passed out, and then there are 4 open hammocks.
All right. So
And you saw that there is a captain's suite on this deck, on this vessel, so most likely there's at least 1 person in the captain's quarter.
yeah, because none of the other people look like they were captains. So I figured that much. I was trying to count the entire crew. So I'm guessing what 8 crew, 1 captain.
Yeah. It's a small ship, so it seems likely.
Do the ones in the hammocks look passed out from drunkenness also?
You can't really tell. The room doesn't smell like booze, at least.
Okay. And only because the opportunity might be here,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know exactly where in the book it is. Can I kill them without waking them up, without them making a noise?
If you've got a knife, yeah, you could.
I have a dagger in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And,
you can. I would let you do it. What it's going to be is, I'm going to say it's going to be a stealth check, because the attack is going to automatically hit. You're automatically going to do max damage, because that's how coup de grace work.
Okay.
So
Then-
really, it's just hiding the fact that you're doing it. It's the big thing.
Then I will take the opportunity, actually.
Okay.
My stealth check is a 17.
Perfect. So you finish the first one off, and he goes out quietly. You go to the second one, and he makes kind of like a groaning sound as you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you wait a couple seconds, and you finally let out your breath, even though you don't have to breathe.
Yeah.
Like it's like this weird human emotion that you've picked up as you realize, okay, I'm in the clear.
All right. I will leave them be. Then I will slowly work my way back up to the deck where the other 4 drunkenly passed out, and of course keep aware of my surroundings.
There's a couple of locked trunks inside here, and now that they're taken care of, you've managed to find where the candles and stuff are. If you wanted to see inside here a little clearer. There's also no windows in here.
Yeah. No, I don't want to touch any of the trunks.
Okay.
I have reasons. I'm gonna go back up top. My first idea would be first see where the 2 guards who are walking around are.
So as you kind of watch, what they basically do is they stand at the ends for about 5 minutes, and then they walk around and switch sides, and it's like a loop.
All right. And they're walking just on the deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to think if I can take out the any of the 4 on the deck that are passed out without guards noticing.
Probably not. The guards, when they get to the end and they're just kind of looking out, they're definitely bored. But when they actually do their patrol by,
Yeah.
they seem to be pretty attentive.
Okay. Next would be the captain. Is there any way I can get to his quarters without the others, the 2 seeing me?
Yeah,
Or-
you think if you stealth over there and you get your timing right, you could probably make it over to the captain's quarters. The one thing that you're concerned about is the captain probably locks that door, and you're not sure if you're going to have enough time to be able to pick that lock or how you're going to pick that lock at this rate.
Yeah. We got 2 down. All right. So now that I've realized I cannot take out the other 6, I I will go. I'll go back downstairs to where the other 2 dead bodies, and then see if I and then hide those bodies within the ship.
Okay. So there's a part of the ship that's called the bread hatch.
Yeah.
That's where grains and things like that go, but it's an area of the ship that people don't go to very often. You're able to kind of stuff them inside there, and looking around, you find a little bit more of these different like crates and things like that. Where the bread box is, you find that there are barrels of fresh water and things like that on board. But the interesting part is you find a lot of smaller cages, which ships like this would usually take livestock with them. That way they would have meat as well.
Yeah.
Looking at these cages in your previous experience, these are probably monkey cages.
Yeah, I already figured that these are probably has something to do with the apes, the monkeys. I just don't know what yet.
I mean, not that you've spent a lot of time enjoying food, but monkeys don't seem like the best meal to you.
From what I've seen of others, they don't generally eat them too much. All right. So I will. Because I want to leave no traces. I don't want to pick a lock because I don't have any specific tools other than just breaking it open. So yeah, I'm going to leave things alone, and I'm going to try to sneak off the ship again.
Okay. So with a little bit of kind of maneuvering yourself, you're able to kind of go from shadow to shadow to get yourself to the side and sneak back. Is that all you're going to be doing for the evening?
Yep, and then I will head back. And my goal is to try to get back before nighttime gets over and act like I never left.
Unfortunately, you're actually running a little bit late. Like as they start looking around, they what's up?
Then I will play it off as I was I will literally use the fact that Warforged don't sleep much in the first place. Saying that I had gotten up earlier and decided to scout my surroundings.
Okay.
As I so am prone to do.
So you guys have gotten yourselves ready. The tribe has offered you use of any sort of spears or javelins that they have available to them if you want them. They've also got some daggers and basic tools. Axes as well.
I'll take an axe.
Okay. It's going to be a hand axe, D6.
Alright.
When I can, when you go for the axe, I'm gonna stand right next to you, Tom. There's 6 of them plus a captain.
Do you just like pop out of nowhere and do that?
Yes.
So you will very nearly get an axe buried in your skull.
I don't react.
Why did you think this was a good idea?
I figured you'd want to know how many that we're dealing with.
And you figured you didn't want me to wait to turn around and see you were there instead of just surprising me while I had a hand axe in my hand?
I was not afraid of the hand axe.
Also, what do you mean there are 6 of them?
It means that they don't have two of them.
Okay, let me try this again. What the hell are you talking about?
The pirates. There's one captain, 2 are on guard. Most of them are drunk, and I believe they're the ones who introduced the monkeys to that island over there.
You went full Garrett on them.
I mean, if he did that, I assume he would be saying there were 6 of them.
No, I said there are 8. There were 2 more.
Oh, by the way, when Vic
there are
says
6.
that,
There were 2 more.
Oh.
Vic is still lying in the exact same spot where he fake died the night before. He just slept there. He just turns his head and says that to you.
Oh, good. You saved me the trouble. You were the next I was going to tell about this. And then I look around. Please do not tell Orange. He's not generally the happiest with not the happiest methods.
Tell me what?
I have found out how many new friends you can make today.
It's like, there are 6 pirates, and no more.
Plus a captain.
Ooh.
So
Let us go make these 7 friends that we will be making.
7. Exactly.
Alright.
Well, everyone's got to die someday, and Vic will grossly get up.
Hopefully today's not the pirate's day to die.
No.
Yes, hopefully. And, like, I will sort of take Rusty off to the side. It's like, so you seem to have some experience with this. So, while I and Orange are distracting you from the front.
Oh, it was easier last night. Most of them were asleep. If it wasn't for the 2 guards on watch, there'd only be the 2 guards on watch.
Regardless, it would be nice if you were not seen when negotiations begin.
That was my plan from the start, but I'm glad someone else at least is thinking about it too.
So the Garuda as well have another option for you is they have hunting slings if you'd like to take a ranged weapon. I forgot to mention that one.
Nah, I'll be fine.
Okay. Jeremy, do you wish to take one? Since you're stealthing around.
Yeah, because I'm going to stealth around, and this situation might be good. So yeah.
Okay. So you begin to head out, and you'll make it over to the cove where the Black Skull crew is, and the 4 guys that were passed out are now working the sails, trying to repair some damage that's been done. The other 2 are passed out on the deck, and there's a man that is in his late 40s. He's kind of looks disheveled, but he's wearing a great coat that's been reinforced and has armor plates on it. He seems to be yelling at them, and he's got a stogie lit up in his mouth.
Hello, friends!
I'm gonna not be seen, Chris,
Okay.
with a 19 stealth.
Okay, perfect. So the man with the stogie kind of grabs it and he moves it down. He says, friends. He spits off the side. Hey, friends, what brings you to these parts?
We were shipwrecked. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Orange, and this is the mighty warrior. Is Garrett with us?
Yeah, he would have came with you.
This is the mighty warrior Garrett Forthnight. My friend Ellen and Rusty and Vid were. They always seem to wander away.
They're probably back in the woods.
They did this to me the other night too.
I never said I snuck off.
Oh,
Vig's
Oh.
there.
Then
Alright.
my friend Vig, too.
Hmm.
What is your name?
My name is Stephen Blackwright.
Hi, friend Stephen. May we come aboard? We have a request.
I can see what I could do. And the crew is kind of looking at you, and they're following the you as you walk across the gangplank. He'll meet you on the deck, and it's not really like a welcoming thing. He takes another drag on the stogie, and he says, "So you gentlemen were shipwrecked here. The storms have been quite bad in the region. Can't say that it's not profitable, though." And he puts out the stogie on the railing, and he just tosses the butt off the side.
Yes, I'm sure piracy has been very profitable with all of the flotsam. And the wayward travelers surely pay top dollar to make travel.
Do you even know what piracy is?
I do.
Somehow I
Yeah.
doubt that.
He looks at you and he says, "My crew is perfectly legitimate. We don't engage in piracy. Now we do trade in exotic animals and collect salvage on the side, but
Perhaps you were responsible for the monkeys that were released on the island over there.
yes, we received some damages on our ship as well. It would be best to let them breed."
Well, they'll surely die off and not be a problem to the ecosystem in a few short months.
Hmm.
Destiny is fickle. Regardless, we have some... I totally forget what the race is called, Chris.
The Garuda?
Yeah.
The Garuda. We have some Garuda friends that would like to book passage aboard your vessel.
Yeah, I spoke with the Garuda myself. And he kind of pushes back his great cloak, and you can see that he's got a pistol on him.
Hmm.
He's very clearly trying to intimidate you. He says,
I'm totally oblivious and don't care.
right.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, I told them for a small fee of 5 copper a head, I would gladly take them to the freelance.
How many
So
are there?
Elland, you know that 5 copper a piece, or I'm sorry, I said copper up there, didn't I? So I meant to say 5 gold a
Let's
piece.
say 5 copper is pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, it's like, I could technically front that, not that I would tell them I had money.
Exactly. Same.
But the 5 gold a piece price, the 5 gold is enough to last for about 2 months for a person to live pretty lavishly.
Yeah.
The kind of lifestyle that you've lived in the past would eat 5 gold in 2 months.
Hmm.
What they're talking about is highway robbery, to say the least. But with to answer the question about the tribe, you guys saw about 30. It's not like you counted heads, but you estimate there's probably about 30 of them there.
Yeah, not really affording that.
35, 37 times 5 gold. No, no.
Yeah.
And in fact, I believe in my travels across the water the first time when I left my homeland to go to the cultural center of human world, I don't recall paying this much.
No,
How about
you probably didn't.
1 silver a head?
Times are different. We've undergone some repairs that needed to be done. Now, we've done the best we can, but our ship still needs repairs, and we have to pay for that somehow, don't we?
Hmm.
What if we help operate the ship during travel?
I have all the crew I need, though it appears some of them have gotten drunk and wandered into the forest again,
Hmm.
or the jungle.
Good help is so unreliable these days. Regardless, there is quite the point that I don't think the gold you want even exists on this island, like, in totality.
Well, I am a man of barter and trade. How about this? Breastplates. Oh, I'm sorry. Rusty's not with you, so he doesn't know you have a breastplate.
No.
He goes, I'm a man of barter and trade. If you get me something that's worthwhile, something to recoup my costs, I'd be glad to trade with you. But I will not provide them food. I just provide them a vehicle. It's 2 weeks' worth of travel. If you find something that I value enough to offer this, make sure they're ready, because we will intend to leave within the week.
We could attempt to catch your monkeys.
We'll deal with the monkeys. We placed them on that island to allow them to move around freely without having to worry about it.
Well, they have to worry about the big one, most certainly.
The big one woke up.
Indeed it did.
Then perhaps we lost all the monkeys by now. Oh well, the big one will make up any cost that we've lost.
Well, I mean... well, it just seems too bad we can't come to an understanding.
I'm a very reasonable man. You find something of trade for me?
No, you're not reasonable. 5 gold a head is not reasonable.
I have no idea what's in his island.
Okay.
So,
Are you a man of chance?
I need
Captain?
another swim check, by the way.
Yep.
What you're doing, Jeremy?
That's an 18.
Brendan
Okay.
asked a question of the captain, by the way.
What was the question?
So during this whole discussion, Vig is just wandering around the deck, whistling a somber tune, and once all this stuff comes up, out of the blue, just say, "Are you a man of chance, Captain? Surely you must have some dice games, card games you like to play on long voyages with your men."
I'm inclined to play dice every so often. Do you have something in mind?
Well, whatever game you like best, I'm sure I can learn it. But that big, mean ape across the way over there, we saw it, and it is... oof. You try to capture it, you're going to lose a few of your men, easily. I say, if you win, we go get it for you. And if we win, you allow us passage with the Garuda.
I don't like this bet.
I do. I don't seem to lose this way. He starts
You
to
will not be
smile.
having the services of me to capture that big monkey. He does not speak for me. I am
Yeah.
sorry, friend Vic, but I cannot help you.
Says, well, Vic, you're down one man on your expedition. Are you still willing to take the chance? And he'll fish out 2 dice and a cup, and he holds them between his fingers.
He'll look to Elland. So come on.
like, Are you like doing that to like ask me to join in the dice game, or just to agree?
That's what I'm saying. Well, we're in this together, right?
I was like,
Do you have a better plan?
Ellen will pause to think for a moment, and just like nod at you. It's like, go for it.
Hold on. For the record, you said
Jeremy,
join
I
me in
need
the
a
dice
stealth
game,
roll.
and that
Yep.
actually happened where I went no, and then you said, do you have a better plan? And I nodded yes.
That's 16, Chris.
16, perfect.
Yep. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So he goes, the game is simple. In fact, I'm sure your Soga friend would be more than glad to explain it to you. I'll give you the easy rules. The game is called Cho Han. It's easy. All you gotta do is on 2 dice, tell me if it will be odds or evens. and he shakes it up. He flips the cup upside down and holds it down. Your call.
Traditionally, the gangs in my country use this to cheat people out of things. You should have inspected the dice first, Vic, before you agreed to this.
While they were discussing this, I'm intently watching him to see if he cheats in any way or if any of the
Insight.
stuff. Yeah.
Insight check.
I just had a dice roller open. 1 second.
So, Jeremy, you will be able to take care of at least one first, but as far as the hiding thing goes, I need to know where you intend to hide.
I probably can't fit them in the same place with the other two.
No, and you're on the deck, so
Can I?
the easiest place would be to roll them in the water, but that's going to make way more noise.
I was gonna say, can I grab one at a time and then slowly ease them to the water? Just climb down with them, holding, and then slowly
You
let
could
them
with
go.
one of them. The other one you won't be able to like that.
Well, I'll do that at least with the one. The other, is anything I can just cover his body quickly with? Just so he's not
yeah,
visibly.
there's bits of sail.
Okay, then I'll do so. My goal is to hide it for as long as possible.
Okay. The insight check.
19.
19. Perfect. He seems to be playing it straight.
Or is he?
Okay.
Well, to show that it's fair, how about 2 out of 3, and we'll switch off rolling.
Of course.
And
I'm not nothing if I am not fair.
even.
Okay, you said even?
Mhm.
Okay, he reveals it's a 9. He'll kind of chuckle to himself. He'll pick up the dice, toss them in the cup, and he'll hand you the cup.
Okay.
Now, you may cheat if you wish.
Yep.
Okay. Normally, how tool proficiencies work is you essentially roll plus your proficiency bonus. Your proficiency bonus is 0. Go ahead. It would be considered a dice game.
Could I do like a charisma to go along with the throw him off? Because I'm going to take my time talking while I do it. Try and distract him from my hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a it's still going to be the dice check to get them to land on whether you want it to be odd or even.
Okay.
But he'll engage in conversation with you, and he doesn't even pay attention to your hands. He's just watching your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually going to do it straight up. But
Okay.
I'll make the roll.
Okay. Before you click the button, so there's no cheating by me, he will tell you even.
Oh, it's something I have to click?
I have a dice roller on here that I threw on the screen just so everybody could see what I was doing.
Okay.
If you want to roll your dice, that's fine.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, he said it was even.
Oh. No, I was asking where the dice roller was on here.
If you look at his
the
screen.
one that I use
Oh,
is called Dice Stream.
Did
Okay.
it.
Oh.
It was 10.
It was 10? Okay. I'm not seeing Brennan's dice or camera for some reason on the big screen, so.
Yeah, I kept
Yes.
Brendan's dice. His camera's straight on looking. That's why I rolled it.
Okay. So he kind of chuckles to himself. He says, well, That's 2. I guess you're getting my 8th. And he pulls out another stogie to show you I'm a generous man. How about a cigar before you get your arms ripped off?
Okay, where are the guys on the deck right now? It's the captain, and where's everyone else?
So you kind of start scanning around, and you see Rusty with a maybe unconscious, maybe dead pirate under his left arm, and his right arm is grabbing the ladder, and he's lowering himself slowly to the water.
Did you get mine, Chris, by the way?
Yes. You turn away from that without trying to give away that something's up. You see that Elend is just kind of standing watching the whole game, thinking, I bet he cheated. He probably cheated.
Yep.
And then you scan a little further, and you find that that Orange has gone to the beach, gone to the mast, and has begun friendly conversation with the ship hands.
How many are there?
There's 1 more unconscious and 4 that are up on the sail doing sail repair, plus the captain.
Okay.
All I've been doing is evening the odds.
Yep. Okay, yeah, he'll take the cigar and he'll strike up conversation. No reason we can't have a few more drinks before we go off to die.
He goes, I won't send you empty-handed. I've got a few wrist harpoons that you can take with you. It's just going to take all of you to wrangle this thing into a cage.
Oh, Steph, come on. Get off my pillow. You're spitting on my pillow with your snort.
He yells for one of the deckhands, and Johnny, the deckhand, slides down the ropes, comes over to where you are, and Johnny opens up a crate. Inside, you're going to see that there are 4 wrist harpoons. A wrist harpoon is exactly what it sounds like, a wrist-mounted crossbow, but it's got an iron tether attached to it as well.
And
Damn it,
this
no.
is all on the deck?
Yeah.
Or do you have the cage below deck?
No, the cage that's on the beach is the ape's cage, but the men need to repair it. While we sit and enjoy the afternoon, I'll have them ready the cage. We'll bring them. We'll bring the cage around for you, but my men, I won't risk them on that island. That beast was a mess to take down, and I lost 2 men doing it the first time. I can't afford to lose any more crew.
Jeremy, have you caught on to what Vig's doing for you yet?
Trying to keep them all distracted.
So Rusty shimmies back up the ladder well, and you kind of check around, and Johnny, the ship hand, has left the crate and gone back to what he was doing. It's provided you another opportunity to sneak across the deck. The only complication is Orange is talking to the guys on the mast and will clearly see you if you do it.
God damn it. My goal, in the end, my entire goal with this was to let Orange never see me. Specifically Orange over everybody else.
There are 2 people on the beach, however, if you want to try and deal with at least one of those guys.
Yeah, but the beach...
Sorry, there is 1 person on the beach. 2 on the mast.
2 on the mast. He's speaking to 1.
No, I'm speaking to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, is it possible, can I stay on the side of the ship and shimmy my way across to avoid Orange's sight?
Yes, you could. It's going to take a athletics check at disadvantage because you're trying to move across a very small ledge. It's kind of like walking around a skyscraper kind of deal. You know that the cost of failure is going to be falling in the water and making a lot of noise, though. So your call.
Yeah. would I deal with Orange if I? Thing is, he'll make it this. He'll make it way worse. He'll make it just. It'll be just as bad if I let Orange.
You guys do have a hero point each. So if you want to use your, or not hero point, inspiration each. If you would like to use your inspiration to cancel out the disadvantage, you can as well.
Yeah, I want to do that. I can't have that disadvantage, and I can't take the chance with Orange team because he'll say, "Friend Rusty," and then 4 guys will see me plus captain and realize that they're missing 4 guys.
Is there any way that I might, knowing what Rusty is doing, that maybe Orange is in his way?
Not really, because Rusty kind of poked his head up, looked around, and then he slid back down the ladder.
You'd have to understand it. You'd have to be able to understand it perfectly, but there's no way you could.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to shimmy my way across, using my inspiration to cancel out that disadvantage.
Okay.
So athletics. I don't have anything. All right, then a 15.
Okay, perfect. So you shimmy around, and you manage to get yourself at a point where you think you could probably grab him here. It's just going to be a little tricky, so it's going to require another stealth roll, and this is going to be opposed to Orange, is passive perception.
I will do so. I have more confidence in that. At least that way I have a chance. Nice. So it's a nat 20.
Okay, that sounds like it should definitely beat his passive.
21 to be fair, but
Okay,
Just
so
the one that does it.
you grab this unconscious guy by his collar, and just quickly slide him off the side, and then give him a good knife wound to the chest.
Yep, and then slowly ease him into the water, and
Okay.
it's cool.
So that deals with 2 of those guys. There's the 2 that are still on the mast that, well, Johnny is one of those 2, but the 2 that are on the mast, and then
The one on the beach, 2 on the mast.
or 1 on the beach. Yeah.
One on the beach, the captain. There should be 2 in the mast that Orange is speaking to, and then a 4th one. There should be 4 alive plus the.
Sorry, 3 on the mast, 1 on the beach. So
Okay. And at least 2 of them are distracted by Orange.
Mm-hmm.
3.
I said at
3.
least 2 because you kept on saying 2, so I'm.
Yeah, it should be 3.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to risk being noticed by Orange. As long as he's looking towards most of the boat, I can't do anything. So I will just keep on poking my head up and just seeing where people are, and just take my time and see if I can take any opportunities. Otherwise, I will keep my myself unnoticed.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you can keep yourself pretty well hidden. After a little bit, you're able to kind of get yourself in a position where it's a little bit more comfortable than being on the sledge.
Yeah.
Let's go over to Ellen. Is there anything that you'd like to do?
No. I mean, actually, Brendan took my exact idea and just said it before I did, but so mostly I'm just going to let him take the lead. I will basically assist him in keeping the captain distracted, though.
Okay.
Or keeping the crew distracted if I think they're going to spot.
The captain is pretty liberal with any sort of questions you have about the ape, how they brought it down the first time, how he thinks that you should try and wrangle it back in the cage. His suggestion is to have 4 of you take the wrist harpoons, and if you have any other men, have somebody kind of prod the thing into the cage with a javelin or spear.
Mm.
Vig is writing. Oh, I don't know if I have paper, but he's
Nodding.
he's paying attention to everything, asking every possible question.
Mm-hmm. You learn that the ape is referred to as what is it?
El Chupa Libre.
El Chuba Libre. I was trying to. What was it? Megapithecus. There we go.
Hmm.
But yeah, the captain kind of goes on and on, and by the end of it, he doesn't really seem like that bad of a guy. But you know that he did destroy the Garuda ships and things like that, and he'll fully admit to it. That he was fighting with the savages when he arrived, and that their ships were the cost of war, and he's claimed what he needed from them, is how he phrases it.
Hmm. I like to subtly probe him. Like, I want to see if he was the pirates that were supposed to capture the lady, but like I don't want to just straight out ask him that.
Okay. Let's see. How about we say that is... let's see. I wouldn't necessarily say insight. Would you, Murdoch? You've run more 5e than me.
To probe him?
Yeah. Would that be more diplomacy for the probing?
Depends on how he's going about it. Are you lying about it? Are you dropping hints? Dropping hints for him to pick up? Deception.
Yeah, like I would use deception.
Okay.
Which I actually have as a skill. 15.
Okay.
16. I'm sorry.
16. I feel like that's a pretty good number for this captain. He's a level 0 adventurer type NPC. Yeah, he says, well, to be honest, we had heard the Freedom had been carrying arms and things like that, but we also heard that his crew was pretty heavily armed. Plus, I don't know. Just we lost a few men doing the ape the last time. It wasn't going to be beneficial. We did get asked about it and kind of seeded information, but I don't like taking jobs like that. They're too risky.
Interesting. Just curious of such things for my own sake, of course.
He goes, honestly, there are other pirates in the area that, sorry, he doesn't say pirates. He says there are other less than savory businessmen in the area that probably would have taken up some of those leads. I heard that the ship was actually carrying a VIP that may have been of interest to some people. I know that the one that they call Grimace, Grayson Balthier, he tends to go up and down the coast here.
I see. Well, have to keep an eye out for such unsavory sorts.
He says, yeah. But I believe that my hospitality is coming to its end. You smoked my cigars. You've drank my liquor. Now get my ape. Let's go back to the Soga, though. Your conversation. You said that you wanted to talk to them about perhaps unionizing against the captain.
Yes.
Talking about their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes. I wish to just get the feeling of the crew. Like I'm gonna ask. So how does our captain friend treat you? How do you enjoy working for him? Things like that to start.
The captain. He's harsh but fair. We make good money under him. He used to be the first mate for Captain Ward. Terrible man. Beatings all around, all the time. At least with Captain Bal, the captain, he gets us good shares.
But you still receive the beatings?
Only if we mess up. Though Hodgson got beat real bad about that great ape. Oh man, he cried like a woman for days.
You know, he's talking about sending you all while he smokes cigars to go get the great ape. He talks like he owns you. I was unaware that there were slave pirates here.
There's no slave pirates here. Each man is given a chance to own a fair share of the ship, but your first time on board the ship, you do have to work towards that purchase. Once you own a share, you can take some of the spoils. All of the crew that we have on board are share-owning members.
You guys should kill the captain. The captain seems like not a nice person.
Oh, that's a turnaround.
One of them turns around. He looks at you kind of crazy, and he says, "Captain Balthier, there's something not right." And you see the captain, because you guys have been talking to him. He starts to frown, and he goes, "Well, I guess the jig is up," and he starts pulling his gun. Because they straight used his name, and he has managed to lie to you up till now, until the other guys ruined it.
Sort of implicated himself there for a moment.
Who was Belgier?
Captain Balthier.
Because that was my plan anyway.
Oh, you know, just a notorious pirate captain, nothing too worried about. Oh, he's standing right in front of me.
Damn it! I had a whole big plan. I literally, this is what I'm saying in game. Damn it! I had a whole big plan to throw the captain off the deck and make you guys, real pirates with, not having to work under someone so evil. Forge your own destinies. I guess you'll just continue to be slaves.
You have a weird sense of morality, Orange.
The pirates on the sails grab their knives and start jumping down. Balthier has pulled his pistol and is pointing it at let's see, who would be closest to him.
I was to stab him in the back, leaving anyway.
I was gonna say, actually, probably the one he's facing would be Tom's character. It was Elland.
Yeah.
He'll have the pistol pointed to Elland, and he says, "So, how about you just leave the things that you salvaged with me? Go back to the birds, and we'll be leaving."
Ellen, you'll see Ellen's fish. I'll try that again with English.
By the way, there is a box full of wrist harpoons that are right next to you as well.
Yeah. I'm also carrying like 3 different stabby implements, so I got plenty of work with. Like, Ellen won't move, but like his face will twitch at the gun barrels. Like, don't point a gun at me.
he like brings back the hammer to it, and he starts to raise it, and he's like, "I don't think you're in any position to tell me anything."
Chris, can I charge him?
No.
I'm gonna charge him to throw him off. Don't take my shit.
I was gonna say no, because Vig is the closest one to him and has already said that he wants to stab him in the back.
Okay.
That's the plan from the get-go.
Yeah. Okay. No, go ahead. I will then try to charge another person while he's stabbing in the back, and while.
Yeah, we got the captain handled.
Yeah. It's like Ellen's behavior is shifting a little bit. He's getting twitchier and more agitated. You get the impression he doesn't like being threatened.
Okay.
That's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
And daggers are what, D6?
D4s.
D4s? So
The only thing good about a dagger is it's lethal.
4 damage.
Also, if
Okay.
you have a dex bonus, you can include that.
Oh yeah, it's Dex. 5 damage.
Finesse it or strength it. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Perfect. So 5 damage. You slide that knife in right between some of those armor plates on that coat, and it just dips in. And now that you're closer, you're like, man, I shouldn't have stabbed him through the coat. That's a nice coat. I can fix that later.
As soon as
The pirate like leans back, and the gun kind of tips up. Tom,
This is where you grab it and shoot someone with it.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, like, the hand axe flies off of Ellen's belt, and he just screams and takes a hack through this guy's face.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason he's being sent out away from his family.
All right, I need an attack roll. And so long as you hit, you're going to finish him, because he's only got 6 hit points, too.
Alright, that's a 14 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit.
Alright.
Okay, so you smash into him, and the guy just, like, collapses in front of you. We're going to go over to, let's see, we'll go to Murdoch next. So Orange finds himself with 2 pirates that have knives drawn on him now. What does Orange do?
So since your captain is dead, I guess that makes you the new captain. Here to make deals?
They look at each other for a moment, and
Or, you know, we haven't unleashed our great warrior, Garrett Fourth Knife.
you point over at the guy who's got an apron on.
We call him the Butcher.
so they look a little nervous, and they go, yeah. The guy that you said you could be captain, he's like, how's the sound of that, Captain Hodgkin. The other pirate goes, shut up, dummy, you're the one that let the great ape out. And the 2 of them start arguing. Their names are Wit and Hodgson. And they're pushing each other around, and they've got knives on each other now.
Is one of them
Rusty.
by the?
I take out the one that's not one of those 2.
Hold on. Is one of them by the rails when this happens?
Yeah.
I
In
just wanna
fact, if
push
you
the-
wanted to take advantage of it, you could push one of them easily over the side.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, he goes off and I wave at him.
So you're going to push Wit off the side.
Yes.
So Hodgson, the one that seems to mess things up, is left on the deck with you. And he was the one that you said you should be captain anyways.
Yes.
And Rusty, you take advantage of the opportunity and bum rush the guy on the beach.
Yep.
Okay. I need an attack roll.
I will give you that. That is a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
D4. How many? Yeah, I'm gonna grab a D4. This is actually the first time I'm rolling damage. So it's like I killed already 4 people. Nope. And that's 5 damage.
Perfect. So, yeah, you bite in and go ahead and tell me how you kill him.
Is he watching towards the ship or was he looking away?
He would have like half turned, and you just kind of caught him as he started.
Yeah, as he came in, I just come in and stab his neck, just like right up into his skull.
Okay.
And then like slowly let him down on the ground. And I'll just look at him at the same time, like, and I'm like, shh, it'll be all right.
Put your finger on his lip.
Yes.
This is when we find out we all make characters that we're going to turn into assassins.
So,
Whoa! Only one person's an assassin here.
so he drops down and quietly dies on the beach there. The Hodgson looks around and he says, "That's right, I'm the captain," and he realizes he's the only pirate left on the ship now.
No, actually, no. There should be one more.
Well, there's the one that's in the water.
There was Wit that was thrown in the water.
Uh-huh.
There was Hodgkin. There was the one on the beach, but then there should have been a fourth one.
Yes,
there should have been
is.
another one on the mast.
Sorry, there is another one that's up in the mast that hasn't come down yet.
Yep.
So Hodgson is yelling at that one guy in the mast.
Is that one guy listening?
Does not appear to be.
Hodgkin, you gotta go prove your mettle, man. He's Rutherman Rasha.
He says, I don't know what you're saying, but I get what you're getting at. He's like, I'll show him. And he walks over to a line.
Hold on real quick. I walk over, grab the captain's pistol, and hand it to him.
It's already loaded and ready to be shot.
Do you
I
say
was just trying
anything when you hand him
to.
the pistol?
I heard he's got one eye closed, trying to aim at the guy in the mast whistling.
Do I what?
Do you have anything to say to him when you hand him the pistol?
I say, prove who the real captain is.
He takes the knife and he throws it in the deck, and then he takes up the pistol. And originally he was going to cut a line and ride it up. He just holds on to the line he was about to cut, and instead, brings the gun around and he goes, "What'll it be, Wells? Serve me or serve me in hell." Wells just kind of holds up his arms, and he's tied to the mast, so he's not going anywhere. It's like, that's right.
Pirate captain.
It's Captain Hodgson now. Captain Master Hodgson Ward.
Excuse me, Captain Hodgson Ward. If I may, it looks like
he takes the gun and he tucks it into his sash that he's got around his belt, around his waist.
It appears to me that you could use some crew to get to the mainland. And, well, I do know a bit about 30-ish passengers that could use your help, that I'm sure would be happy to pay a small amount to a not-so well-and-off captain at the moment, but could use this to employ new crew.
So, in the middle of your conversation, you hear thunk. And then you look down as you're talking to him, and you realize, because it's a flintlock pistol, when he tucked a loaded pistol into his belt,
I was thinking about
dumped
that.
everything in there. Because it's Hodgson, and he's going to screw up everything.
I'm not even paying
He's
attention.
going to make Garrett look good.
Hey, at least he's willing to try more than Garrett does.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I have to ask, does it look like anyone's a threat at the moment?
No, not at all, because Hodgson is now on your side and agrees that he needs a crew. After some conversation, he decides that getting the ape is not worth the money at this point. So he's willing to give up on it. You guys are able to get the crew kind of wrangled up, or get the villagers wrangled up. What we're going to do is stop here. This, instead of being a one-off, is going to be a two-off. It will pick up with the other half of the journey back. I'm going to give you guys another 5 stat points to spend and an advancement.
Can I actually ask there is something else that I wanted to do that I will forget.
Okay.
Are we setting off at this point?
To leave the island?
Yes.
You will be.
Okay. So there's 2 things that I request be done real quick. First, I actually ask about how to operate the ship and help move this stuff.
Okay.
Or does anybody here know, like the birds and anything? Do we know how to work the ship?
Yeah, the Garuda do know how to work the ship, because they live on this island by choice, but they ship back and forth between seasons.
Honestly, Rusty was hoping on that fact this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So then here's what's going to happen is Hotchkiss is going overboard too. And I'm taking the gun.
Wells is still up inside the mast.
And I'm just going to look at Wells and say, never fuck with the quiet ones.
Wells just keeps his hands up.
I load that fucking pistol. This is right as we're setting off, and I go, "You are pirates and have deemed guilty of piracy." And then I shoot him.
He falls to the deck dead.
I appear out of nowhere and throw the body overboard. We can't have, and I do that with the other with the other 2 bodies.
I put the gun in my obi.
I can't leave them on. I can't leave them rotting in
I was gonna say, so Rusty comes out from like below decks with 2 dead bodies and hucks them over the side. Okay.
Pirates are so uninteresting. Where's our next adventure, friends?
So you are able to pull the ship around to where the Garuda can get to them.
I can't say anything because I want to leave that as the last line. What's our next adventure, friends?
Yep. So five stat points and an advancement off of the worksheet there. For anybody who wants to do a level 0 adventure using the rules that we are using today, if you follow the link for the Stratmur stuff in the description, one of those pages will include a bit about our house rules, and there's a link that says anything in the Stratmur folder. If you click on that, one of those anythings will be the 0 level adventures, like play booklet thing. It's like 2 pages that are worked up in Google. But this was a lot of fun. We always joke around saying that we want to do level 0 adventures and start with people that shouldn't be heroes. So I think we've managed to accomplish that.
I'd actually be okay with extending this to a several episodic game, actually.
I wouldn't mind either. Stratmur is there, so it can be explored.
I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
And I say this, Chris, as a player, and I say it, on the live. I just feel like you weren't really enjoying the Edge of the Empire system. You weren't enjoying running it.
Yeah, I've got some things that I'll probably say in a review video about what my opinions on Edge are. I played it when it first came out, and I thought the dice were a little wonky. And now that I've played it and put some more heart into it, or at least as much as I could, the Edge system, I don't like how finalizing the dice are. I feel like they take away from our chance to really narrate as players, because it's like, oh, well, the dice are like, you did good, but you have a threat as well. Whereas a good player is going to narrate that anyways. So, I don't know. I think for us, it just doesn't work as well. I know we're all big fans of Saga, but...
It is what it is. Tom, you're amazing.
Okay. So make sure you guys do your advancements before next time we get together. We'll do getting you guys back to shore and all that stuff.
We should have 2 advancements, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
2 advancements have been done. So 10 extra points and 2 of those little advancement purchases, which can be weapons, armor, divine, or arcane, depending on what you can justify.
To make sure, you automatically have dagger proficiency, right?
Dagger and quarterstaff.
Alright, then I don't need to add in weapons.
If you look around on board, you will find some other weapons and things like that, like actual legit weapons. You'll find bows, short swords, 2 long swords, the 4 wrist harpoons, and some clubs and things like that, a few hand axes. But those are mainly like tools, but they can be used as weapons as well. You'll also find from the new armor section on Startmur an armored greatcoat, which is what the captain was wearing. It's light armor, and it's a little better than studded leather armor for anybody who's interested in that. With that, that's pretty much everything I have for this game, but I did want to do a quick shout out. I'll do a big video for it probably this week, but the channel made it to 500, so I just wanted to thank everybody who's viewed every week, every other week, or whatever commitment that you've done for this channel, because it is a lot of fun to know that I have a great support system for a hobby that I've loved for years, and these guys are like 90% of the success of the channel. And then you guys are like the other 90, and then I'm like 10% in there, and then somebody will correct me on my math inside the comments. Because
it's 190%.
It is. The other 10% is Bender.
Okay.
To make us a total of 200%. Because that's how we work. But yeah, absolutely. I really want to give like a wholehearted thank you to everybody who's watched, viewed, and given support along the way. Without you guys, we can't drop dice here. As always, from our table to yours, thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the gaming table.
I hate you all.
He does.
Have a good one, guys.
Later. Bye, Guns of Icarus.
Yeah, Tom doing his own shoutouts.
Tom has to, otherwise we will.